Okay, your next movement is the deadlift. So what you're looking for is this time your feet are going to be underneath you. I want you to see how her heels line up with the ball and socket joint of her hip. Okay? They're instead of a wide stance. Go wide for us. So what happens is when she stands like that, there's a vector line that goes from the hip and it crosses the inside of the knee. If that happens, that's how we get ACL tears. Okay? So I need those feet to come back together. Good. Now she's going to grab the bar just outside of her feet where those lines are. That's generally where most people need to grab. Feel free to rotate one hand like she did. I'm going to move the camera to the side. And what you're going to see is this is different than a squat. Her rear end is higher. Good. And she stood that up for us. I'm going to back up so we can better see it. See the arch in her back? Good. Now look, the rear end is high. So it's almost as high as her shoulders are. She just bears down on her rib cage. Good, she stands it up. Now when she brings it down, she's going to push her butt back, and then she'll bend her knees when the bar passes her knees. To pick it up, she's going to straighten her knees and then straighten her hip. On the way down, she bends the hip, then bends the knees. The whole time, hold what you got, coach. The whole time what you're going to feel is tension through here, okay? On the leg and on the hip, she's gonna feel it on the back side. Go ahead and lift. If she feels any tension on the front side, it's the wrong lift. That's not what we're looking for. We want you to feel the tension on the hamstring and the butt. And notice that that back stays nice and arched for us. It doesn't round over. One more, coach. Outstanding, you're hired, and you can put it down. Okay, with the overhead press, coach is going to take a fairly close grip. It's going to be the same place it was for the deadlift. It's that inner ring. It's not way out here where we find the bench press and the snatch rings, okay? They're way on the inside. So that finger can be on that ring. She's going to come up underneath it. Notice that her forearm suddenly got vertical. So she's going to lift it with her chest, walks it out back of the rack. Her feet, again, are going to be close. You can see her feet are fairly close together. They're not way out. And when she's ready to lift, she's going to take a big, deep breath, lock her rib cage down, and then she's going to push so that it runs right in front of her face. And then when she's done, we can look at it and we can see how the bar lines up with the back of the shoulder, through the hip, and it gets over the foot. See that line? If she just instead puts it out front a little bit, so go ahead and coach and just move it out front. So she's going to lower it. Now this time on the press, raise it up and then kind of put it to the front. This is what we commonly see. And what you can see is that the bar runs to the front here and then it gets out over the toes. That's how you're going to hurt your back. Actually, the bar needs to come back over her so she gets under it. And so you can feel the weight on your heels. And then she lowers it down by driving the elbows a little forward and then it lands back on the chest. So the bar is going to move straight up and down. Now the trick with this is when it gets heavy, you'll want to use your legs. So she's going to bring it down. She's going to go ahead and bounce for us to use the legs. That is a different exercise. That's called a push press, and that's not part of this program. So do not use your legs, just use your arms. Bar comes back down, and when she's ready, she just walks forward, crashes it into the uprights, and then lets it come down into the J-cups.